Hello everyone, thank you for joining us for this session of the ARIA orientation. So when you join NLCC, you will be assigned with a username. That's usually the first alphabet of your first name as well as your surname. But I'm going to be signing in with just a test username today. And the point of that is to be able to show you around the ARIA workspace. So you'll get your username and password from IT, and they will set you up with a workspace. When you get set up at first, your workspace may not look exactly like this. It might just be a whole blank page that might look something like this. And what I'm going to do right now is just show you how to set up your workspace to suit your needs, your purposes, and also going to show you how to set up your quick links up here on the left hand corner of the screen. So first of all, this is your home page. And depending on what your role is, therapist, physicist, nurse, oncologist, or you would want to set up your workspace to suit your needs. So for an oncologist, for example, over here I want to see my tasks and appointments. Something else I can do is make this just my tasks and make my appointments on another tab, and I'll show you how to do that. You can also have multiple tabs in your work home page. But I prefer not to have multiple tabs. I prefer to be able to see everything in one screen. So to begin with, you can personalize your home page by coming to the right hand corner where my mouse is now. And what you will do is click personalize. To do that, I'm going to remove these other tabs. So I've removed those tabs, and I'm also going to remove these tabs at the top, tab 1 and 2. And this is how your home space might look at the very beginning. You can change this, like I said, to add the second tab, and you can make your tab. You can make this, for example, appointments. And if you want to move your appointments to that space, you can do that. You can add another tab for tasks if you want to. But like I said, we're not going to be doing that. I prefer to use just one tab. Now, even your main home tab on your page, just like you can add widgets to your phone, you can add widgets to this tab. So you can add a widget, for example, by the right hand side for task list. So when you have these two, I can make this just tasks, like I said, and I can make this appointments, and I can see my tasks and appointments right next to each other. I'm going to save this and show you how it looks when you come back to your home page. So when you come back to your home page, it's going to look like this. Okay, and we can continue to personalize. I can decide to add favorites and put it like this. I can decide to add schedule. When you get to 4 tabs, it will now divide up your screen, because there isn't enough space for the 4 of them to stay side by side. You can also want to add your patient list so that you can see all your patients in one go. Again, I'm going to show you how this looks when you go back to your home screen. So your home screen will look like this. We'll continue to personalize. So I'm going to take all of those off now and go back to just tasks. Let's make it task, appointments, and maybe messages. Although we don't often send internal messages, but you can make it messages. Or let's make it task, appointments, and schedule. That's fine. So let's save that, and this is how it's going to look on your home screen. Let's continue personalizing. So something else you can do here is you can change I think you can change the color. Oh no, I don't think we have that anymore. Okay, so this is basically how you can set up your home screen to suit yourself, depending on what you want to see. I want to make this 3rd tab patient list, so that will help us as we go forward. So we have these 3 widgets here, and I'm going to save this. So now, on each of these bars, you have these things at the top. It says available, pending, in progress, completed, cancelled. And what it means is that if I want to see my available tasks, I turn this on. If I remove this, it is off. So when I turn it on, my available tasks will show. My pending tasks will show if I turn this on. My tasks that are in progress will show. The ones that are completed will show here, and the ones that are cancelled will show here. So I've turned all of them on. I can turn all of them off as I please and go to just available. Available means this task is available for you to complete now. but you haven't started doing it. When you start doing it, it will become in progress. When it becomes overdue, you will see it as pending. Something else you would do up here is adjust your dates. So right now this is showing from November 24th, because this is the American dating system, November 24th to December 8th. And I can change those dates. I can make it 20 weeks ago here and 3 weeks from now, and I can apply that, and it will affect all the things that show up right here. Let me change this to tasks and appointments. Okay, we didn't set up any trial tasks. So you can make it just today, you can make it for the next 3 days, you can make it for next week, or you can set the specific dates you want, custom, and apply it. Either one you want. You can also have it show big. Unfortunately, there are no tasks here, but if you switch between these two things, you can have a bigger list that shows more details per patient, or you can have a small like bullet point list, depending on whichever one you turn on over here. So this is just how to personalize your home screen, your home page. The next thing we're going to personalize is the quick links. When you when we go into the ARIA workspace, we'll be using different workspaces, again depending on your role in the center. So for example, the therapists will use import and export. When they simulate a patient, they will import a patient. The front desk, the nursing, chemo, they will use a lot of things in this AMR space, because they will do drug orders, they will sometimes use encounters, they will use the journal a lot to document chemotherapy and co. The oncologists will use physical exam, they will use a lot of all these other things that are here, current medications, diagnosis, and co. Front desk will use registration. So depending on what your role is, there are things here that you will need to use often or not. That was, I didn't mean to click that, that was an accident. So the point of these quick links is that for each one of these things that you use quite frequently, you can save them in your quick links and you don't have to go looking for it. So for example, if I work in front desk, I don't want to come all the time to AMR and then scroll down to look for registration. I want my registration task space to be up here and I can easily reach it. So I will customize my quick links by going here, and for each one of the tasks that I want. So I want to save registration into my quick links. I'll scroll down in alphabetical order till I find registration, and I'll use this arrow to move it to the right. So now I have registration in my quick link favorites. I'm going to add just a couple of other things so that I can use that to demonstrate some things. So I've added all these things to my quick links. If I click done, when I come here, you will see them show up here in my quick links. So now I don't have to come here to look for registration. Registration is right up here in my quick links. Whatever else I still want to use, I can always come and find it in these tabs, but the ones that I'm using very frequently are up here. We're going to continue customizing the quick links. So now I want to remove clinical decisions because I'm in front desk and I'm not really using this workspace. I click here and I use this arrow to take it out. I want to remove physician order administration. I click this arrow to take it out. I want to add communications. I use this arrow to add it here. To move these things around, I want to rearrange them in whatever order, in alphabetical order or in the order of what I use the most, or just for visual preference. I move tests up here. I use the up and down arrow to rearrange this space, to move one thing up or down as I need. And then let's talk about the default workspace. So the default workspace is the place where if you click directly on a patient's name, the system will take you straight to that workspace. So for example, if you are a medical officer, you use encounters a lot to review patients. Whenever you click on the patient's name, you want to go straight to the default workspace. So you can make your default workspace encounters. To do that, you will come to where encounters is normally found, which is EMR. You will go to encounters and you use this arrow down here, not the one up there. Use the one down here to put encounters in here. If I wanted history to be my default workspace, I'll go to history and use this arrow. If I wanted lesion assessment, this is what I'll do. So just like this, you find your default workspace. You create your default workspace. So I'm going to go back and set this to encounters because that's what will help us the most. So I've set my default workspace encounters and I am done. So that is how to customize your quick links and your home page. Now I want to search a test patient. So let's use this test patient. And as you can see, I've clicked on the name and it's taking me straight to the encounters workspace. Let's wait for that to open. So this is the encounters workspace. This is where we enter our documentation for every patient. When you see this patient, you click on new in the encounters. These are the types of encounters up here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do the RT weekly review, a follow-up consultation, and the first or new consultation. The CTSIM appointment is used mainly by therapists, but these other three are the ones that we use often. So let's assume this is the first consultation. I'm going to click first consultation and I'm going to save that. And I'm going to save it. So this is the patient's first consultation. Some things have been filled in because we've been using this test space, but just to explain what each one of these parts represents. External documents are documents that will be scanned into the system by the records officers. Every time the patient does a test, does histology, pathology, imaging, or whatever, the document will be scanned into the EMR and you can find them in documents. Diagnosis is where you enter the diagnosis of the patient. And every time you enter diagnosis, you click here, select new. And then you have to work your way around this diagnosis workspace. You start by confirming the diagnosis date. This date is the date that the diagnosis of the patient was confirmed. And then you do a clinical description. Let's say the patient has breast cancer. You go to the code, type breast. I want to redo that.